Hello everyone, Cat Goblin or Martin here, and in today's review, I'm going to be reviewing every single enemy in Meet the Robinsons, the video game. Yep, another one of my favorite games on the GameCube. So without further ado, let's get into the review. The only key thing to note about these enemies is that if you have the high ground, then they will wait for you to come down, and that's pretty much it. Our first set of enemies are part of the Robinson security, and the first enemy that you encounter is the Lev turret. You first encounter it in the Robinson basement and can also be found in part 3 of the basement. There will be a white circle on the ground, and when you go near it, the turret will pop up. The Lev turret will shoot rays at you. If you get hit, you will be trapped in a bubble. After a while, you will be teleported away, and then you would have to restart the section. It does not damage you. To defeat it, you have to throw 3 charge balls at it, and they drop energy orbs. Next is the robot sentry, and it can be found throughout Robinson basement. This robot will shoot rays at you, and they take away a quarter bubble of health. Now when you're far away from them, they will start to spin, a blue light in the floor will follow you, and if you're in the light, you will be temporarily trapped in a force field. You can stun them with a disassembler. It takes 4 charge balls to defeat, or 2 in alternate aiming mode, and they can drop pyramid components. Also in one section, they come out of transport tubes. Next, we have the armored robot sentry. You first encounter it in Robinson Basement Part 2 and can be found in Part 3. This robot is exactly like the sentry, but it does more damage, is more armored, and has a charge attack. Its ray attack takes away half a bubble of health, which can knock you to the ground. Its charge attack can take away a full bubble of health, and you can't damage it while it has its armor on. To defeat it, you have to use the disassembler to remove the armor, and then you throw 5 charge balls at it. Also, it takes 3 charge balls to defeat it in alternate aim mode.
You are not permitted in this area.
Last is the camera bot, and it can be found throughout Robinson Basement. Technically, it's the first enemy that you encounter, but I decided to make it last here. The camera bot will be patrolling around an area, flashing a red beam of light. When you're close to it, it will chase you, and if you're spotted by its light, it will raise the alarm. To defeat it, you throw 2 charge balls when it's in its neutral position, or you can hit it once when its alarm goes off. The camera bots are capable of spawning the 2 types of sentries as well as respawning them and lev turrets, and at one point they also come out of transport tubes.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that.
Now our next and main enemies are Bowler Hat Guy and Doris, and they're both only found in the school science fair. Bowler Hat Guy does not attack you, but instead runs around the school, and your goal here is to chase him around. He pretty much makes a mess around the school, like in the cafeteria kitchen, the principal's office, a science classroom, and the library. Once you find him, he runs away and leaves green footprints and pages from his diary. And let me tell you, the Bowler Hat Guy has some weird but funny things on his to-do list.
Soon it will be mine! Oh, goody. Yes, perfect.
Just a reminder, the library is off limits. We're moving some heavy equipment up on the roof, and, well, we wouldn't want anyone to get flattened now, would we?
Back in September, I did an enemy review on the Ant Bully video game, and in that game you're super small and you're working for the ants. But in this game, you're fighting against a resistance of giant robotic ants. And now let's take a look at Queen Lizzie's colony. Starting off with our first enemy here, we have the Grunt Ant. You first encounter it in Magma City and can be found in the Industrial District, Old Town, and the Hive. These Robo Ants will rush towards you. Once they get close, they will fold themselves and spin, making their legs like saws. They only take away a quarter bubble of health. It takes 4 charge balls to defeat and 1 charge ball in alternate aim mode, but when you get the Varsity Charge Ball Glove, then you can instantly kill them. They also have a punch attack used on turrets. They can climb down from walls and come out of burrows. They drop energy orbs, and you can stun them with the disassembler. Next, we have the Soldier Ant. You first encounter it in Magma City and can be found in the Protosphere level in Old Town. These ants are very aggressive and will hit you with their huge front legs. They only take away a quarter buff of health and are extremely fast. It takes 9 charge balls or 3 in alternate aim mode to defeat, and with the improved glove it takes 3 charge balls or 1 in alternate mode to defeat. In Old Town they can't really damage you, and they can drop energy orbs. Alright, now with the rest of the enemies we are equipped with the upgraded Charge Ball Glove, which I will be now referring to. But our next enemy is the Sniper Ant. You first encounter it in Magma City and can be found in the Industrial District, Old Town, and the Hive. The Sniper Ant will be flying around and is invincible to charge balls. This ant carries a gun which can shoot charge balls. This attack takes away 75% of a bubble of health, but luckily you can just use the disassembler to take away the Sniper Ant's wings. When the sniper has no wings, it will try to charge attack you, which can take away half a bubble of health. They can come out of burrows. In the air, they will move around if you're throwing charge balls. You can instantly kill them in alternate aim mode while they are flying. They have 1 HP and you can stun them with the disassembler. Next is the Flame Ant. You first encounter it in the Industrial District and can be found in Old Town. As you can tell by the name, it has something to do with fire, and this ant is equipped with a flamethrower. They only take away half a bubble of health, but if you're not careful, they can drain away all of your health. If you hit them once, the flamethrower will explode. At this point, they're pretty much a sniper ant without wings, where they charge right at you, and of course, you can instantly kill them in alternate aim mode. They have 1 HP and you can stun them with the disassembler. Next are the army ants. You first encounter them in the industrial district and can be found in the hive. These ants are pretty much like the soldiers, but they are more powerful. They have a slam attack which can take away 75% of a bubble of health. You can knock them back with charge balls, but to defeat them you use the havoc gloves to flip them over, then you throw a charge ball and you will have to do this process 3 times. You can instantly kill them in alternate aim mode after when you flip them over. Beetles come off of them and they can come out of the ground or drop down from ceilings, and they can be seen sleeping in the hive. Now, fighting 1 or 2 isn't a problem, but it gets hard when you have to fight 3 or 4. Also, the army ants can be seen patrolling in tunnels. You can crush them with boulders and make them fall, but they will instantly kill you, and they climb on walls. Next is the Sarge or Sergeant Ant. You first encounter it in Old Town and can be found in the hive. This ant is pretty much like the army ants, but they are not as aggressive and can spit charge balls at you, which take away 75% of a bubble of health. Now, when you first encounter it, you pretty much follow it around, and you defeat it with an ice cream sign. Next, we have the crate ant, and it's only found in the hive. So basically, it's the grunt ant holding a crate. It will throw its crate at you, which does not damage you, and then it turns into a regular grunt ant. You can sneak behind these ants, and when you hit it, the crate will fall on it. Next is Lieutenant, and it's only found in the throne room of the hive. Lieutenant is pretty much like the Sergeant Ant, but bigger and can repeatedly spit charge balls. Its charge ball attack takes away 75% of a bubble of health. Its slam attack can take away a full bubble, and its hit attack only takes away a quarter bubble of health. To defeat Lieutenant, you have to flip it over with the Havoc Gloves, which knocks it and the beetles out. Then you have to guide a laser coming from the throne onto Lieutenant, and it will be defeated, but Lieutenant always respawns.
Okay, Carl, I'm back. What's with all the girly yelling? Hold on. The Emperor's name is Stanley?
This isn't funny.
You're right. And do you want to know what else isn't funny? Giant ants stole the time machine.
That's 2 in 1 day.
Our last Robo Ants are the infants, and they are only found in the throne room of the hive. These ants are summoned by Queen Lizzie, and they pretty much function like the grunt ants, but they die after when they attack you. The robot ants are pretty cool enemies, but now we have our next set of enemies under the command of Emperor Stanley, and they're all found in Magma Industries. Our first enemy here is the Eruptor. This enemy may look harmless, but it does great damage. When you're close to it, it will charge at you, which takes away a quarter bubble of health, and they are capable of launching grenades, which take away a full bubble of health. If you hit it once with a charge ball, it will dive towards you and explode, causing greater damage. And if you remove its drill and it flips over, then it will explode. But nevertheless, these enemies are very useful for blowing stuff up in this level, and they come out of Eruptor delivery systems. Like the army ants, the Eruptors also patrol in tunnels. When you get close to them here, they will flip over and explode, which can instantly kill you, and they can dive off edges to blow you up. Last in Magma Industries is the Magma Industries Hooplet and Hooplet Leader. Both of these enemies do wield batons and will use them to hit you. The first two strikes take away a quarter bubble of health, and the final strike takes away half a bubble. The Hooplet Leader is capable of firing 4 charge balls at a time that can take away 75% or a full bubble of health. To defeat them, you levitate them with a lever and then throw one charge ball. The hooplet's one arm will fall off and they will still try to attack you. After when the second arm is off, the hooplet will run towards you and explode, but surprisingly, their explosion does not damage you. Also, if you try to defeat them in alternate aim mode, they just disappear.
You two! Destroy him!
Our last enemy in the game is the mini bowler hat, and it's only found in the boss fight against Megadoris. These enemies will shoot green beams at you, which take away a quarter or half a bubble of health. They have 1 HP, they respawn very quickly, and they can drop energy orbs and healing orbs. Alright everyone, so those were all the enemies in Meet the Robinsons, the video game. Hope you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next review.